Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Belt Beauty Radio. So, you guys, today is the last day of August, which means that summer is pretty much a wrap. California, we still get this amazing weather, which feels like summer. I'm very grateful for that. But the energy is definitely about to shift. Things are going to get a bit more kind of serious. School's back. People go back to work. It's kind of like holiday vacation time is over. And as much as that doesn't sound exciting or fun, I really do want to value or express the value in cycles and how when we embrace them rather than resist them, I feel like, we really not only are more in sync with, nature, but we're in sync with a sense of kind of flow in our lives, right? So I want to take that idea and I want to weave it into this Instagram post that I put up the other day, and it was rad. I got a lot of feedback on this, which was awesome. And it was, the focus point was all about progress. And progress means a lot of things. There's the tangible and the intangibles, and both of them are relevant. Both of them matter. In this particular post, I really highlighted that my primary focus when it comes to progress in my life is on the intangibles, because I firmly believe that, for me to create, to achieve, to accomplish, to receive all of it, the goals, the desires, the vision that I have for my life, it's a reflection of what's going on within. And so, it's the inner success. It's the intangibles that dictate the external success and thus the tangibles. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to dive into it. I love to do. Let's get deep. All right. So progress. It's an addiction. It's always within our reach. It comes down to how far we're willing to reach for it. My personal pursuit of progress stems way deeper than the surface of things, be it financial gains, career accomplishments, aesthetics, etc. Yes, I value all of those areas to make gains and am undeniably driven to continuously elevate progress within all of those lanes of life. But my primary desire of progression is fueled from who, not what, I need to be to actualize what I envision for my life. It's that ever-evolving version of me that keeps me so excited and committed on this fulfilling pursuit of constant progression. Loving the responsibility and knowing it all starts within me. In knowing that, it makes my standards with training not only a tool for optimal health and desirable aesthetics, but equally a powerful tool that keeps adding more strong layers to my most capable self. That self that keeps me aligned in a constant state of progression. When we can connect deeper meaning to our goals, it's easier to stay the course, regardless of how challenging it could be at times. The truth is, I love living in the deep end of life. Surface shit has no appeal to me. It's way too one-dimensional. I prefer dynamic every day of the week. Being vision-led and purpose-fueled is being able to spin straw into gold. That's Rapunzel, remember? Anybody? So, man, okay, let's drop in. I like to highlight the fact that, by saying, the primary focus is the internal, the intangibles, it's who I need to be, does not dismiss the external. So it's not saying that, the gains financially, the gains in business, you buying the home that I see, all these things, those things are so relevant. They're so important. They're so motivating. They do fuel my process and my passion. But in order for me, it's kind of like reverse engineering. So the woman that I see in that state, in those moments, having those things, living that life, that woman, that version of me, she has this array, this arsenal of intangibles by way of her character, who she is. And, look, I can definitely say that I already feel a direct connection to that future version of me, right? Like, it's not like I have to attain confidence when I see the woman that's very confident. I'm making this as an example because I do live with confidence. It's more about fortifying these intangibles, these aspects of who I am, so much to that it produces these things, these external desires, that I'm aiming for, that I want. So I really, tying this back now into the concept of cycles and how we are moving out of summer and moving into fall, I think it's such a beautiful time to reflect, mindful to not judge at the same time. So if we're reflecting and we're measuring our successes, internal and external, by example, where are we living within ourselves? Are we operating from a state of clarity? Are we operating from a state of, courage and confidence? Again, intangibles. Or are we not, And if we're not, cool. Let's not beat ourselves up over it. Let's just, focus and create an intention that these are the areas, the internals, success areas that we want to fortify, the intangibles that we want to strengthen. And then, of course, pay attention to the external. How far have we, moved the needle forward in the areas that we want to? So be it our health, our business, finances, whatever, all of it. And it's just, I think it's really awesome if we can, kind of look at everything from above, like take a moment, pause, reflect, look at everything from above, assess without judging. That is so key. You guys are going to hear that out of me forever, as long as you listen to me, because I really feel like it's it's like the MVP to growth, and to succeeding, because it's so tempting to want to, in the example that I was just making, like if we're reviewing and assessing ourselves and our progress internally and externally, and let's just say, we didn't lose the 5 pounds that, was intended to, or I haven't moved the needle as far forward with my business as I was driven to, as I, intended to. If I beat myself up, aka judging, if I get down on myself, if I get hard on myself, first, there is nothing positive that's going to happen from that. In fact, there's going to be negative. There's going to be resistance. There's going to be unnecessary stress. It's just not, I guess the word that comes to my mind is, it's not the professional approach. It's very amateur. It's like, let me just sit here and beat myself up. No. Let me fucking sit here and analyze this scenario from an objective place, which is so much more powerful, from above, which keeps you in the driver's seat of progress, right? And, look at it, appreciate what has happened, and appreciate where there's room to grow, because we always want room to grow. Now, listen, if you're spinning wheels, in certain areas, great. Taking the time to stop and reflect from an objective perspective is actually going to lend to progress, because we're able to better see, okay, well, this hasn't been working for me, and I know that this is my objective. This is my goal. So what do I need to change in order to do that? Again, versus, damn it, I just can't get this 5 pounds off, or I don't know what else I need to do. I'm working so hard and this is just not working with my business. That kind of self-talk, that kind of energy is so, it's just not sexy, it certainly isn't supportive. And, you know what I'm all about. It's like, be on your fucking team, right? Because, being on your team doesn't mean that you're babying yourself and that you're not able to push yourself to grow and to, turn your best into better. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you're on your team. You're not going to make things harder because they're already difficult. Let's face it. Like, we have goals for a reason. And, I imagine, I feel like it's almost fair to say across the board that, these things that we're reaching for, especially for people who are listening to this podcast, it's like, it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy path, these things that we're reaching for. Which doesn't mean that, all of it needs to be super excruciatingly hard. Some things will be easier than others. But overall, I do feel like there will be challenge on the path to whatever these things are. If it's improving your relationships and, improving your relationship with yourself, your business, your mind, all that stuff. It's not going to be necessarily like easy breezy, right? So why, making things harder is just not logical to me. So I feel like it's less of an emotional thing. It's more of this does not make sense. So in saying that, as I'm moving into this new cycle, this new season, I want to share with you guys that, I feel very focused. I feel very clear. I feel very strong. I can see where there's, after reflecting and analyzing, just like I, put out earlier, I can see where there's areas that I can do things maybe a little bit different and see if it produces different results. It's really exciting. I actually just did something in the last 2 weeks. It's been really cool that I want to share because, I don't know, I feel like it could be really valuable to you guys too. So I have, a morning routine, ritual, set of habits, whatever you want to call it, all of the above. And it's been this way for years. I know I've talked about it briefly over some episodes prior to this, but it's pretty straightforward, and it's been the same thing for a long time now. And I should say that it feels really good. Like, there's nothing in quotations wrong with it, right? So it's like, it's been this kind of playlist of music that isn't really, it's sounds more than anything, like wind chimes and rains, basically things that create an environment but don't evoke so much emotion for me, right? Whereas like music with lyrics and stuff, that can definitely point your emotions in a certain direction. And I don't want that when I wake up. I just kind of want to create this atmosphere for my mind to wander and to awaken and be, better able to be primed for the day in the direction that I want. So it's been wind chimes, it's been rain, it's been all that stuff. I know it might sound funny, but it's been rad. Anyways, so then, I immediately roll ink, pen to paper, and that sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it's less time, but every single day has started with my writing. So, and I love it. I love going into deep rabbit holes in my writing. It's, a lifelong love of mine. And immediately after that, then I move into meditation. And then post-meditation comes, creative work, business work, movement. Sometimes that, I can do it in different, one will come before the other, basically. So here's the thing. This is a shout out to Ryan Muncie, because I recently, upon finishing his book, Fuck Your Feelings, I've known for a long time, like, the benefits of cold exposure, right? Just because I love hyperthermic conditioning. I love studying that. So I train a lot in heat. I've never done an ice bath, but I have taken, sat in the cold plunge after heat. And so I understand biologically what goes down with cold exposure. I've definitely taken cold showers, but it's usually been post warm shower. So like, I take my warm shower that I love, and then I'll just blast myself with cold water afterwards. But after reading his book and reading this other kind of random blog post that was connected to this concept, which, I don't know, it invigorated my mind to want to experiment with this. I decided that I'm going to start taking a cold shower immediately upon waking from bed. So whereas before I kind of liked hanging in the trancy state of mind while I was writing, so post bed immediately into writing in that trancy state, whereas like a cold shower is going to, induce more cortisol, which is going to wake you up more, and it's going to do a lot of great biological things. So, at first it's like, do I really want to do that? But I'm a firm believer that nothing changes if nothing changes. And even though, and this is something I really want to point out, I think it's so important, even if everything has been feeling really great, and it has, being a growth mindset junkie, being on this constant pursuit of progress, intangibles, tangibles, progress, and I'm addicted to progress, I decided, well, fucking try it. Just see what happens for the sake of seeing what happens, right? Because I already know what goes down from this way that I've been doing it, for X amount of years now. But let's see what shifts when you go from bed to cold shower. So, you guys, 2 weeks now in it. So, wake up. I actually do some dry brushing, which is really great to wake up the body, promote circulation, and then I jump in the cold shower. The cold shower has been lasting for about 5 minutes, and I have to say what's been so cool and interesting is I get out and then, I kind of get myself ready for my day, and rather than going to my writing first, I've been going to reading. And I should have mentioned that I definitely read sometimes post writing, before meditation, or sometimes after meditation. It just depends on how much time I have during the day. But I found that there's this calmness that has taken over. And I'm pretty zenned out in the morning anyways. But there's something unique about getting out of this cold shower, getting myself ready, and I just feel it's like this combination of focus that is lending to this state of calmness. And then that makes me want to pick up my book and read. So in the last 2 weeks, and I'm not a speed reader, but I did finish a book at the very start of doing this. So like in the first 2 days of taking the cold shower, I finished a book, which was rad. And then started a new book, and I'm on the last chapter already. And you guys, that's a big deal for me because, let's be real. Like, there's not a lot of time in the day. And, we invest our energy and our attention in what matters most, right? And so a lot of times reading can get kind of put to the side, or audiobooks are, more often the way that we kind of, digest literature now, right? But I love, just the same way as like rolling ink to journal, I love turning pages. So I really value an actual book in my hand. And I really love that, by being able to get sufficient amount of reading in the morning, it has not, here's the cool part, hasn't taken away from my progress throughout the day. It hasn't slowed things down or, because I'm reading more now I'm doing less. No, what's been so rad is that then, I don't know, I go into my writing in this, I'm still in that state of where I can drop in deep and, kind of let my mind wander a bit, wonder. But I just feel more clarity and yeah, I don't know. I feel more clarity. It's been beautiful. And immediately after that, there is so much more, my output in terms of my businesses has been, I've definitely moved the needle forward. 100%. Like I've created more systems and more structure that has allowed me to be more effective. And I really love effectiveness, like even more so than efficiency, right? It's like, I want to be doing the things that matter most in the best way possible because those are the things that are going to move the needle forward and make the biggest difference in me, achieving my objectives, right? So I don't know. I guess the reason why I wanted to share this with you, especially right now with the change of seasons, is because I think that it could be a really cool time to just really evaluate your systems, your system of thought, your system of actions, and, upon also kind of analyzing where you are internally, where you are externally with, the things that you desire in your life, your goals, your visions, and then seeing what can you do, even if it's a small thing. Like, all I did was decide I'm going to take a cold shower before I do anything else. That was one thing that has truly made a genuine, has had a real impact, like a great ripple effect into the rest of my day. So what's one thing that you can do that's going, even just for the sake of experimentation, that could help you produce more desirable results, that can help you make more progress? I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, right? It's a really cool thought, and it's a really cool experiment. And then I think what I'm going to keep doing is, fall, and then let's move into winter. And when winter comes around, I'm going to create another Solosode around this, and kind of reinvite this idea and to check back in. I really love this because I think that there is, New Year's, everyone's like, okay, gung-ho, I have all these goals, I have all these desires, I have these visions, and I'm got all the energy, and it's a brand new start. Cool. But we know, because it's been proven, that 3 months into the new year, so much of that shit is forgotten about, like that momentum is gone, right? So I really love this idea of aligning ourselves with nature, with the cycles and the shifts of seasons, and evaluating where we are internally and where we are externally, and then evaluating our systems, internal systems, external systems. So, from that, what can we do to shift things, to move in our desired direction? It's a lot. It's a lot of good shit, I think. It's been fun, man. It's been super fun. I love being on this path of just, I guess it's like just addiction to progress, a constant chasing of this kind of higher version of myself. Again, reverse engineering, seeing that woman that is living the life that I envision for myself, which is always expanding and evolving, by the way, right? Like that woman right now it's like I'm seeing her, she's in the next 5 years. I mean, what comes after that, I don't know yet, but I'm kind of staying within that realm of like who that version of Roxanne is in the next 5 years. And those are, that's what I'm chasing. It's like fortifying these intangibles that woman is living with, and, has been able to, as a result, generate, create, achieve these tangible desires that, I have, basically. So, yeah, that's it, you guys. Boom, done. Empty and full at the same time. So you know what that means. It's a wrap. You guys, thank you so much for everything, for sharing your time here with me. I've been really, really focused on, how I can continuously be improving my podcast for you guys, creating content that is authentic, that's valuable. That's really, really important to me. It's my ultimate goal every day. It's like, how can I continuously be doing this better? And, I want to tell you guys right now how much I appreciate the feedback that I get. It is so important. All of you who have shared my podcast, put snaps of it up on your DM. Your Insta stories. I mean, all that stuff means so much. The DMs that I get, the reviews, it's amazing. And, my goal is to be so fucking phenomenal in what I'm creating for you that it's going to be hard not to continue to do that. That's my goal. So, of course, I'd like to ask you to do that, to share this podcast, to leave me a message, give me feedback. It's so valuable. Tell me what you want to hear more about. Like, if there's things that you believe I can support you on your journey into turning your best into better, I want to know what it is. And I want to attack it and create it and, make it as serving to you as I possibly can. So communication, this is a conversation. It's not me just talking out into the world, right? Like, I'm sharing. I'm right here with you guys. So, that was a bit of an ask, but also just putting it out there that this is my intention. I'm going to make it so difficult for you guys not to want to do that. So that was cool. You guys, I love you. Have an amazing, amazing Labor Day weekend. Celebrate everything that you are, everything that you're doing, and everything that you intend to achieve and create, all with a knowing that you are so fucking capable of doing it, and knowing that I am so, so excited and grateful to be on this journey with you. So, as always, lots of love, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for taking the time to check out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please share it with your friends. Head over to iTunes, subscribe to this podcast, rate it, leave me an honest review. Let's connect. I'm so excited to do that in this space and really create content that elevates your mind in support of your best performance in life. You can find me on Instagram at blackbeltbeauty. I'm active there every single day, and I look forward to connecting with you all. So thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.